All right, now we're gonna go get the crabs. Here we go. We don't know if there's any crabs, but we're gonna find out. No crabs this time. All right, so there's no crabs in it. I'm gonna have to just stock it with some more bait, and then I'll throw it back out there. Usually I don't catch much during the day. Early evening I'll have a couple more, and then first thing in the morning probably a couple more. But anyway, pull them up and boil them up, and that's what we're gonna do today. All right, let's go. All right, everybody in Oklahoma, you're not used to this stuff, but these are blue crabs. I've already cleaned them, and this is a big old claw. Aren't they pretty? Blue crab. And I've got them cleaned, and these are halves, so that you can pop them right in. That's all meat right there on the inside. And I'll get a boiler going, and I'll put these in. And after I get them boiled, they'll be bright red, and I'll show you those here in just a second. Got the boiling crab in there, the crab boil I should say, and this is what we use zatarans, crawfish, shrimp, and crab boil in a bag. So I'll let that boil in there for just a few minutes. I'll pull that bag out and I'll save it because it's going to be too intense if I let it keep on going. Besides that, I got to have some room for these crabbies in here. All right, now I'm going to let you see it here in just a second. All right, so here they are boiling. Just going to give you a look. And them pretty blue claws just went red on you. Boil them for about 5 minutes, and that's all. They start getting mushy after that. All right, so now I'm ready to take them off the pot, off of the boil here. See, they've all turned red on us. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that, go over here to the sink. Notice I've got a cast iron skillet down there. It doesn't have to be a cast iron skillet, but put something in there full of cold water. If you're in an RV, you want cold water in there because when I pour the boiling water down into there, it goes down through the RV system. You don't want it to be boiling when it goes down there and it hits your pipes out there when it goes into your gray water and then on out into your hose going to the sewage. If it's hot going in there, you could melt that thing and have a leak out there. So I'm going to pour it in there and then cool off the shrimp, cool off the crab. All right, so here we go. Hot water is poured off of them. It's going down in here. Now I'm going to put some cold water on there, and that'll start cooling them down so they'll quit cooking, because you keep cooking in there and then they get mushy. All right, guys, so what I'm going to do here is, you see there's the crab, and I'm just going to run cool water on them. I want them to stop cooking. So you got to put some cool water on them. Excuse me, some of that crab boil, Harold can testify to this. It gets up there in your throat, it'll get you to coughing. Okay, so I've just doused them with some cool water. That'll get them stop cooking. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set them on the countertop. And if I set them on the countertop, I'm going to let them just sit there and cool for about 10 or 15 minutes. And let it cool for about 15 or 20 minutes until they just get warm to the hand. If you try to do them when they're hot, you won't be able to get all the meat out real easy. But once it quits cooking like that, give it 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes to get to a good warm temperature, and then you keep on going. You'll take all the you take all the crab meat out at that point. All right, sounds good. All right, now I'm going to take one of these crabs and I'm going to take it apart for you. I'm going to get one of the big ones in here so you can see. This dude has got a big old claw on him here, and we'll do the claw. Let's go down here and take a look at the crabby. Over here, babe. Over here. All right, let's take a look at this crab here. We're going to tear that claw off of there. Now the claw, everybody's pretty well familiar with how that comes apart. This part over here is where the main part of the meat is. Now I'll get the claw first, and then we'll do the main part of the meat. So we're going to take these apart here by just pulling the claws apart, pulling that out. That has a big shoulder blade thing in it you get rid of. Now I'm just going to pound both sides. You get you a nice knife of some kind, got a good heavy metal handle on it here, and we're going to bash this open. Here we go. Flip it over. Alright, there we go. And the first part that comes off, kind of the dirty side of it, so you strip that off so you have nice clean white meat. And now pull this apart here, and the entire claw meat comes out. Peel back a little bit of the dark, and then you wind up with a nice white crab meat in here. Put it over on the side. Now we're going to do the upper arm part, and this does the same thing. Now this thing's got some pretty good claws on it right here. Those are really sharp. And we're going to bash this thing up and down, get it all the way from joint to joint so it'll come apart. Flip it over, and one or two little licks on this side, and you'll see that it comes apart really. That nice white claw meat in there. There we go. I'm peeling off little bits of dark meat on the other side, get rid of it, and it winds up with nice white crab meat. And there's some little bit of meat right in there. Just kind of dig that out and throw it in your mouth. Alright, now the big part coming up here, how to get the majority of the meat out of this crab, this blue crab. Let's take a look at it real quick. This is the top. This is where the shell was over the top right here. And we've cleaned all this area out and all this area here. This is all muscle in here with a little bit of cartilage holding it together. Now I'm going to flip it to the underside. That's the underside of the crab. Now take a look here. We want to break this thing, hit it with the knife right along here and break this. And I'm going to show you what happens when you break this. Is you come up, you peel that back, and you have big old clumps. They call it lump crab right in there. You ready? I'm going to use the flat edge side of this. So I'm going to start up here and beat it back into here. Ooh. There we go. Now, take the shell part, pull it out this way. Look at that lump crab right there. It starts falling out. I'll clean that out here in just a second. I'll show you this other part that comes loose here. This one right here, in the back, all that lump crab meat comes out real easy. Here's your biggest one. This is where the big claw is. So it's a big old clump of white meat in here. Sometimes it helps just to dig on it like that. And it falls out there. And once you pulled all that white meat out of it, you're through with this. You can toss that off to the side. This has one little piece of shell in it. Pull that out, and then you've got all this lump white meat right here. Alright. And so that is what it looks like to take a blue crab apart. Welcome to the Rio Grande Valley and the Arroyo Colorado. These are the blue crabs out of there. We're having a good time. So here's what the lump crab looks like in here. The little dark pieces right here we will take and we'll clean that little bit of dark off of it. And everything winds up real snow white in here. All right, so let's take a look and see how much crab we got out of that for this this amount of crabs that we got out of it. All right, so there is the residual of the crabs. That's the shells. And here is the lump crab. that we have on here, and we put it on the scale, and that is about 3/4 of a pound. Nice set of fresh, sweet crab meat. So that's what it looks like getting yourself some crab meat to take home, fellow Okies. Enjoy it. We are going to have some, we've already had some crab, stuffed crab patties. We're going to have some crab dip when we get home. Might even take a couple whole ones back for the grandson and see how he likes them boiled. He likes big Alaskan king crab, but I don't know how he'll do with blue crab from the south. We'll see. Thanks a lot, guys. We'll see you next time.